Hello. Welcome back to Down the Rabbit Hole. Today we're going to be talking about some events in history. We've talked about so many different events, and everything from the Battle of Stalingrad to the Battle at Mobile Bay to the Battle of Munford. For those of you that don't know, World War II is one of my favorite wars of history to discuss. It was during this war that we lost a lot of casualties. And today on Down the Rabbit Hole, we're going to be talking about Operation Overlord, which was the code name for the Battle of Normandy. Now, if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. Here on Down the Rabbit Hole, I like to talk about paranormal activity, urban legends, different kind of stuff like that. This is also pre-recorded, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Happy New Year's, by the way. If you're drinking and driving, please don't. Please don't drink. Please don't drink and drive. It's dangerous. It's not safe. And call an Uber, call a Lyft, have a DD, have someone come and get you. But do not drink and drive. Be smart. Be safe. Your life matters. Now, with that being said, why don't I jump into today's episode? So let's talk about this. So what we need to know is that on D-Day, the Allies launched a successful liberation of German-occupied Western Europe during World War II. And the operation was launched on June 6, 1944, which became known as D-Day, with the Normandy landings, aka Operation Neptune. Now, this was a 1,200 plane airborne assault that proceeded to amphibious assault involving more than 5,000 vessels. Nearly 160,000 troops crossed the English Channel on June 6th, and more than 2 million Allied troops were in France by the end of August. So, what about D-Day Normandy campaign? Well, on June 6th, the Allies launched the long-anticipated invasion of Normandy, France. And the soldiers from the US, the UK, Canada, and other Allied nations faced Hitler's formidable Atlantic Wall as they landed on the beaches of Normandy and the US troops wading through the water and Nazi gunfire. And the planning of the invasion in Northwest Europe began years in advance. Although it was not until December 1943 when General Dwight D. Eisenhower was appointed to the Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force that preparations for the future operations was codenamed Overlord intensified. So what about the plans exactly? Um, Operation Fortitude successfully deceived the German High Command into expecting a landing at Pas de Calais. Instead, the Allies targeted a 50-mile stretch of Normandy coastline, and the plan was two components. Operation Neptune, with a naval assault phase, and the Operation Overlord, and the broader invasion of the strategy, and approximately 160,000 Allied troops were to land access to five beaches: Sword, June, Gold, Omaha, and Utah, where the British and American with British and American airborne forces landing inland. So, how did planning for D-Day actually go? Well, despite their early agreement on a strategy which was focusing on defeating Germany first, the US and British allies engaged in a lengthy and divisive debate over how exactly to conduct strategy before they finally settled on the plan for Operation Overload. So, and D-Day finally came, and initially it was set for June 5th, but it was delayed due to poor weather, and with a small window of opportunity in the weather, Eisenhower decided to go D-Day was June 6, 1944. Paratroopers will begin landing after midnight, and followed by a massive naval and serial bombardment at 6:30 a.m. Now, American forces would face severe resistance at Omaha in Utah beaches. Now, despite challenges including the missed landings and the fierce opposition, these Allied forces established a critical beachhead in Normandy. And this will lead to like hedgerow fighting, and for all the preparations that made for Overlord, the Allied forces were ill-equipped to fight in the hedgerows, where they quickly encountered Normandy, and the Normandy Bagoge presented an unexpected challenge with its dense hedgerows and narrow roads. German forces used the hedgerows defensively, creating a deadly killing fields that Allied troops had to cross the Allies to adapt to their tactics and to overlord of these obstacles and advances. Now, what was the end of the Normandy campaign? Um, American forces would isolate and capture Cherbourg on June 27th, while British forces would secure Keene by July 9th. And despite these victories, the progress was very slow. And on July 24th to 25th, the American forces would launch Operation Cobra, breaking through the German lines at St. Lo, and this would mark the end of the Normandy campaign and the beginning of the Allied push to liberate northern France and Paris. Because you gotta remember, at this time, um, France was occupied by Nazi Germany. And I was watching this documentary about this French journalist, this French woman who used her looks and stuff to be a spy, but she quickly became an enemy and stuff for Germany, for the Nazis and all of that, which was very interesting. But that is it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day and Happy New Year.